Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncy-Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together. Kim Sayre, we are going to introduce you to friends.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yay. All right. So you have been a photographer and a designer for over 2 decades. So I would
Yes.
love to have you introduce yourself to everyone and then let us know what inspired you to start integrating AI into your business.
Okay. My name is Kim Sayre, and I live in a small gold rush town in Northern California called Grass Valley, a transplant from San Francisco, which many of us are up here. It's a very nice little hub of creativity and music and beautiful river and all the things that aren't the big city, which is really nice. And we're close enough that we can go pop down there whenever we want. I have been a professional portrait photographer and wedding photographer for over 20 years, almost 25 years now. And I started seeing things about AI and I was totally intrigued. It was something that I just looked at mostly as like a creative outlet when I first discovered it. And I didn't know how it would play into or be feared or whatever else other people may perceive about AI in the world of photography. So I started with a little bit of mid journey and was just prompting. I think it was like version 2 or version 3, and started just making imagery and thinking it was cool and trying to influence it in some way. Then, as time went on, and I found the Secret AI Society, what I really wanted was to see if I could create that same emotion that happens in front of my camera when I interact with a subject in person. And I wanted to know like it would be worth pursuing for me in my business if I could then work with people that weren't in my little town of 12,000 people. I wanted to be able to expand that, work with people all over the world. And if I could get that spark, then I knew I was on to the right track. So I can definitely verify that it does create that same feeling. Yeah, I've had a couple of different clients that I've worked with. Some I've photographed, some I've not, but I've made branded images and they have been just blown away and have been able to use them for promotion. One of them is a jazz singer. I just sent her a bunch of new images and she was just like, "How- I couldn't even get this from a photographer here." She lives now in Alabama, I think. Anyway, or Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where she lives, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she said, I couldn't even get this from a photographer here.
See, that's what's so crazy about it. You can create some absolutely miraculous things. And I'm curious because when I first started asking people if they were interested in me doing images for them was a really mixed reaction. And those that had either connections to photographers or had a photography background themselves were immediately no, that's the enemy. And so
Right.
I'm wondering how your background in photography and design informed your approach.
Oh,
Because
a
it obviously
hundred.
didn't deter you at all, right?
Absolutely not. And I found that I had a very, even though my approach is really from the heart and I'm holding space for that client to be in front of my camera, I have a very analytical way of planning the scene, the backdrop, the lighting, my studio that I'm actually moving out of. I'm moving upstairs from the underground. I had a basement studio with no windows because I wanted to make the light. So I'm very meticulous about that. So that skill has transferred over to AI. I never was one to just prompt and go, oh, that's good enough. I always would take it to the next level. And as the tools got better, I would take it to the next level. And then I would take it into Photoshop and I would finish it as if I would be finishing an image from my camera. So I think that those skills and knowing, oh, I want to photograph this at f3.2. So I have the background blurred. So I can tell that in the prompt. And I can use a photography style. I can mention a photographer whose work is really well known. And then I can get that type of skill and theme kind of influencing the final product. Well, then I make it my own when I take it into Photoshop.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you find that you see these misconceptions about AI in branding or marketing? What are some of the misconceptions that you do encounter?
I think the biggest one is that you can't use AI and still remain having integrity, having authenticity. And when I teach new entrepreneurs, for example, I work with a local business igniter and I'm on the board of directors and on their faculty. And when I teach them about AI skills, everyone was just so afraid of the robots. And I said, the robots can't do it themselves. And I don't want you to have them do it and not take it into your own voice and make it your own. But you can save so much time as an entrepreneur by using these tools. You can have 30 days worth of content planned out, put in a spreadsheet, copy, paste, you're ready to go. And I think entrepreneurs, especially small solopreneurs, really can benefit from these tools massively in getting their time back to spend with their customers. And that's the most important part, right?
Yeah. Are there some specific AI tools or platforms that you're recommending for entrepreneurs like that?
Absolutely. I think my number one right now is ChatGPT. I have had such a love affair with ChatGPT. At first, I started out using Claude, which is another large language model, and I really loved it. And I felt a little pretentious. Oh, Claude's a bit smarter. It's just a bit better. And then I
Were
started
you
seeing
LLM
it's,
snooty?
I was LLM snooty, I admit. And then I was like, then I started to see ChatGPT on the side a little bit. But what was so amazing was the way it could really take things to a deeper level. Now, I know that we all know that these tools are not fail safe and you have to go back and you have to check the facts and you have to make sure that it's not hallucinating and telling you that it can make you like a book and pop it out of your computer, like an actual physical book. It'll be, do you want me to make you a Canva template? Yeah, I would, but you really can't. So don't try and offer it. But I really found that the way that it could take my ADHD brain, jumbled mess of thoughts and ideas, because that's me. I'm the idea person. I'm the person that wants to come up with these great ideas and then I can implement them. But that's not my strong suit. My strong suit is then to find people in my team that are going to go ahead and implement them as well. And getting that outline and getting such distinct like talking points and organizing it all in a thing, then I can go ahead and I can put it into an online course, or I can put it into a spreadsheet, or I can put it into a slide deck or something like that. And that's my number one. And now that it can do imagery, it's still good. However, I am Sora snob in that I don't think it's the best image maker at all. So I don't like all those yellowed images. That's not my scene. We used to have that in wedding photography, and we were like, when is this trend going to go away? So Sora's stuck in the 1990s wedding photography trend right now.
You're like, I don't want to go back to that. I
I
really
don't.
don't.
I never liked it. I always liked that beautiful, beautiful, wonderful color. I shot weddings in Napa Valley in amazing, beautiful venues. I did not want to make them look like there was a yellow haze. That just didn't make sense to me. What the bride's dress is white. It's not yellow. No, ew.
Don't do it. Say no,
Right.
say no.
Oh,
The deep breath as we relive some of our past.
yes. Oh
The
my
things we
gosh.
used to think were cool.
Yeah, I tell you, weddings was a trial by fire. And when I did it for a lot of years, probably close to 15, 16 of my career. And I learned a lot of things. My degree's in sociology, so people science, watching people interact. I've always been a really good judge of I was mentoring a young photographer and I had gone along with her on her shoot on her wedding for as a second shooter to give her some extra strength. And I watched her. It was clear the bride's parents were divorced and the bride's dad was there with his new 20 something wife. And there was lots of hostility. And I watched her as she said, okay, now go stand over there by your daughter next to the ex wife.
Oh
Then the
no.
girlfriend screaming, We had a huge like shouting match and it shut everything down. We got no formal family portraits done at that wedding because then the bride's dad had got kicked out. And like, it was, I always said I was going to write a book of the stories that I saw because I did see quite a few.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh, there's the stories. Yeah, you gotta write those down to paper.
Yeah. Maybe I'll dictate them to my little chatty. Maybe
There
he'll
you
help me.
go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. When humans screw up.
Right. When humans are humaning, right? Yeah. And I just kept saying, I would never have done that. I did never would. I always interview my clients beforehand, just as I do with portraits now. I want to know what makes them feel comfortable, what makes them feel uncomfortable, what makes them feel empowered, what makes them feel shy, what makes them feel sexy. I want to know all these things and always did for my brides and for my clients now. Yeah, the sociology degree has actually worked out pretty good.
It's helped out a ton. I love
Yeah,
it. And I know that you are not only a woman who feels empowered and uses these tools from that space, but your work also focuses on empowering others. I know
100%.
you're
Yeah.
doing a lot of coaching and you're working with women entrepreneurs. How do you see AI playing a role in maybe leveling the playing field a little bit for women in business?
I think that one of the key things that I realized pretty early on, and I've heard other people come to that same realization, is that these AI tools, especially a large language model, where you're actually talking to it because it's not your boss who might be a man, it's not your supervisor or somebody that's going for the promotion. You're talking from your honest core. And
Mhm.
so you may say things to that chatbot that you wouldn't say to your boss, and probably rightly so in some cases. But you are exploring and pouring out what's inside you, inside your brain, inside your heart, what you core really desire. You're saying it into that chat, and then it mirrors it back to you. And I think that's really important. I think that there women have suffered from low self-esteem, and me photographing women for almost 25 years, I see so many women who they would be what society calls traditionally absolutely perfect, beautiful, slender, fit, all these wonderful things that society tells us that we're supposed to be. And they are just as insecure as anyone. I would say less secure than like someone like me with a larger woman who doesn't have those real big hangups like that. And so I feel like getting that mirrored back to them is just one of the steps. And then you keep going. And then you can create an image of yourself that's the best version of you. If you, like Jenna Sword says, if you're going to go to a photo shoot, you're going to get your hair blown out. You're going to do some things. You're going to get a makeup artist. You're going to go shopping and buy some clothes. You're going to wear a red shirt that everyone tells you looks great when you wear it. And so it's all of that psyche, and then me as a coach being there to just hold on to them in a container and keep pushing them through, helping them and guiding them through. And then they step into it and they own it. And that's what works. And that's really what I find with women entrepreneurs for sure.
Yeah. And I know you are an AI brand strategist with
Yes.
Secret AI Society. We just mentioned
Yes.
Jenna Sword. She
Mm.
is leading force
Yes.
behind
Yes.
that organization. When you are working with your clients, do you hope that they gain? What kind of things are the takeaways that they're getting from sessions with you?
Yeah. First of all, I give them permission to try to think outside the box. I want to make that container so that they're within their industry, but if they are a bit of a rebel, that they can actually create a brand that really truly feels aligned with who they are. And we teach this amazing process where you drill down in and you find out your archetype, you find out different ways that your person that you are reacts to things and how you want to emote and bring that out. It's important, obviously, to appeal to your ideal client. And that's then we take that and we kind of range that power in and then we direct it towards the ideal client. So I want them to get a real sense of who they are, what they want to do, and then pick that ideal client and develop their product that they have or their service to appeal to that client, but still honoring the inside of them. Because I'm 60 years old in August, and I do not want to do something that doesn't feed my soul anymore. I still do photography, it still feeds my soul. I do coaching, I do design, I do web design. These things they just jazz me up and I love it. So I want that for them too. And I want them to leave our program with the knowledge of how to create a lead magnet, how to create a funnel, how to create a website, how to create their programs or what they want to do, how to launch their book, how to just step out there. One of my actually she was my first student in Lux, and she has a farm in Michigan and she's making it this whole glamping thing. So it's got a farm stand, it's got a U-pick, it's got beautiful organic fruit, it's got picturesque landscaping, and she's putting in a yurt, and then there's another type of structure where people can come and glamp, and it's about 45 minutes flight from Chicago. So she's positioned, she knows who her person is, she knows all of these things, and to see her have created this persona that really rings true to her and her family and what they're doing there, it's just been the best thing in the world.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. So
Mm.
many of us are coming to this after having been the good girl, had the career, done the things, crossed the T's,
Yes.
dotted the I's. Are there certain things that you're seeing that are just AI transforming people a bit, or are you feeling like maybe it's more the field that is transforming? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that people are using the tools. I still always think of AI as a tool versus because we know AI is constantly transforming and changing every week. And that's a bit hard to, that's why I'm happy for Secret AI Society, because I'm like, Jenna can figure that all out and let us know what's the best. But I do see it's a whole integration to me, and what I see in the people that I coach one on one, or the people in my town who I do branding for and things like that, it's definitely transformative. And I feel like it's such a force of good. It's such a force that's needed in the world right now, where people are honoring what's true to them inside and being kind to each other and working together, and then using these tools. Because ultimately, I feel like the best gift that the tools give us is more time to work on our business, but yet more time to be with our families, more time to be with our spouse, more time to walk around in nature. Because if we harness that time that's saved, and we need to remember to do that, obviously, and we put it back into these other things that we love, then it just enriches and advances our whole life.
Are there other ROIs that you're considering? I know time is huge because
Yeah.
we oftentimes, as entrepreneurs, don't take even a moment, right? Because we
Right.
feel that pressure. There's so many things. How do
Mhm.
you think small business owners or the solopreneur should measure the ROI of incorporating AI?
I think it comes down to the bottom line, quite honestly. I think that if you are managing your time and you're less stressed and burned out by managing your time using these tools and taking these, they're not, some people think, oh, that's a shortcut or it's cheating or it's using someone else's work. And I get it. I get it. But I also point out to them, for especially for imagery, I fed that beast for 20 years. My work's in there, everyone's, and I take advantage of the tool because I contributed to it. But I'm also like, if you didn't contribute to it, feel free to use the tool, because we all borrow from each other. Artists always learn from each other. And so I feel like the other ROIs that they would have is maybe they'd be able to expand their business, scale their business. Maybe they'd be able to travel more. Maybe they'd be able to, I don't know, do something like write a book or something that they've never really had the time to, but they want to have that in their on their bucket list and check it off.
Are there particular resources or communities that you suggest for learning more about AI, whether it be specifically in branding or in business?
As far as, I mean, there's the ones that I always think of because they're all founded by our people that we know that are helping women lead in AI. So She is AI magazine, she leads AI. There's some communities in Mighty Networks that I've seen that have been really helpful. And what's been interesting for me lately is to see some of the spots in photography in our industry that have now come in to help giving lending it their good name in a way. So they're saying, listen, you guys need to know about this stuff. You guys need to learn it. And so several of them have course platforms now. And I've been seeing a couple of them and commenting on their posts on Facebook and social media, because I'm like, I'm glad you're bringing this to people, because I brought it to everyone locally to me. And some of them want to do it, some of them don't. I said to the or not the national, the county arts council that we have here, they do a big symposium every year. And I said, I want to be one of your keynote speakers because I want to talk about AI. And if they want to fight me, bring it. I'm good. I can fight it. I can also lead them and answer some of the questions that they may have of misconceptions that they have. I think locally, the Small Business Administration is doing amazing things. I know in my county and in my state, there are several free online trainings on how to use AI in small business. And
Mhm.
I also created a course for that. That's run through Sierra Commons, which is our local business igniter. They do 3 separate trainings, and I'm working with the business one. Then they do a food entrepreneur, and they also do a forest services entrepreneur, because we're right in where all of the fires happen. And so we need more people in that business. So they're doing free training to teach people how to be in that business. And then that makes our whole community better. And that's why I'm on the board of that agent or organization, because it's one of the things that I think every town should have. And we're a small town, so I'm really happy that we have some great resources like that.
That sounds amazing. I love that. Now, do you have any upcoming workshops or programs that you're offering that you would want the listeners to know about?
Yes, I haven't set dates, but I do have a Korea workshop that I'm going to do about. I want to make it more about empowering, like doing an empowerment portrait for yourself. That's the slant I'm going to take with it. And then I'm going to be offering a local version of my business strategies and AI tools for small businesses. And then I'm going to be trying to move that into something that I can have evergreen, so I can let you know when those things are ready to go.
Absolutely. And what is one piece of advice that you would give to a woman entrepreneur who's still on the fence? Like she wants to use AI, but she's not quite sure how to in her business.
I would say, come and take this custom GPT that I just created.
Tell me.
Basically, it's so I have a local client who brews chai, and it's wonderful. Everyone loves it here. It's on the shelves of our grocery stores and our co-op, and served in a number of restaurants. And so they purchased this company, and then it came with the most horrendous logo. My cat could draw a better logo than this was, and they knew it, and so they had it redesigned because they needed to print labels. And then they said, we just need this, we want it to feel like us. And so I created a custom GPT that would ask them questions and lead them on this sort of alchemy journey, because it is woo in a way. Like, it is this feeling of their entrepreneurship together. It's a mother and daughter company. They do generational things. It's very solid in their family, and they're entrenched in the community, and so is this brand. And it's called the Yuba Chai, and Yuba is our big river. So Mother Yuba runs everything around here. We love it. And right now it's like ready to kill everyone because we're getting all the snow melt from Lake Tahoe. So we have big flashy signs: don't go in the river, you're going to die. Don't go in the river, you're going to die. So we talked about how that relates in their branding, because when I was first creating the custom GPT, it was talking about the slow trickle of the snow melt. And I was like, no, our river kills people in the spring. So we are not a slow trickle. We want the force, and then we want the cool plunge or the relief after the force is done. And so I took them through this whole experience, and I had the GPT ask them questions. I ran the computer, and they would answer by voice in the chat. So I have all of their responses captured. And then I had it summarize. And they were like, we have never been so excited about our brand and our product in our lives. This is what we want to do. And then I took some things we do a whole process of deconstruct and reconstruct, where we went into Pinterest. We found some things that we liked. We wanted the river in there. We wanted the cup for the chai. We wanted like a star anise or a cinnamon stick to represent that spice. And so then I took those all in and put pieces together, and then I took it into Illustrator and I created their logo. And it's exactly what they wanted. Like they came in and they thought they were just going to sit down and go, yeah, so this is our color scheme and this is what we're looking for. And they were going to go. And so now not only do they have this cool logo that's exactly what they wanted, they also have this whole brand strategy, brand voice thing to take with them into their social media, into their advertising, into their promotion. So that would be like the one thing. Have a conversation about your story. What is your story that you're telling with your brand? What is your personal story? And how does that qualify you to be able to be a leader in this brand? Because people just love stories, and someone's story is someone else's beacon of hope. So I would say to really dig in, and you can use ChatGPT to do that. You can ask it questions. You can use custom GPTs that people have made, and then go forward and tell your story.
I absolutely love that. And the part about that excites me the most is look how your offer just leapt up another notch. It's like
Yeah, right.
you're not only providing them with a logo, like you
Mhm.
said, they had an expectation, and you so far surpassed that with
Yeah.
not only the logo, but the entire experience plus the takeaway, in addition
Mhm.
to the logo that they can then use for all of these other things.
Mhm.
That to me is where I think entrepreneurs, maybe if they haven't yet played around with it, if they haven't heard examples like that, they don't know what they don't know. So you see something like that and you're like, oh my God, I could totally pull that off. And it would be so
Mhm.
much easier because you created a tool that let you do it.
Yeah. And I might add, like I created, the meeting was on Wednesday, the logo was done by Sunday night. So the amount of time that it took was drastically, and there's not all that, okay, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, what do you do about this? No, I knew from inside their being what they wanted to convey about their product. I had them picture in their mind, okay, think about your ideal customer. What are they wearing? What's going on? They just walked in from outside. Is it hot or cold outside? Made them picture all of that to find who they were serving and then to go put it forth. And so I pretty much could nail it right away. Okay, do you like the river here, or do you like the steam to make it look like the river? But really, we were done after that discovery call. I just knew what they wanted in the direction that we needed to go versus coming up with a whole bunch of stuff that they might not like. Yeah.
So we've got to get people to connect with you and learn more about your work. Where are they going to go if they want to
Okay.
talk to you?
I have a couple of different Instagram accounts that I would love to see you there. One of them is Kim Sayre, and that's my last name, Sayre underscore worthwhile. That's my new coaching brand I'm launching. And the other is AI brand underscore strategist. And then for photography, and I've had this Instagram for a few more years, is Kim Sayre underscore photo. So that's where you can find me. And
I
my
love it.
email is hello@kimsayre.com.
I love it. We are sending people your way. We
Thanks.
are. That is fantastic. Kim, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
absolutely appreciate the heck out of you. I so love you sharing your stories and your advice. And I feel like we just got a little bit of Lux for free. So I absolutely feel spoiled. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.